Everyone, guess what we're doing today? Hot fudge sundaes. And this is probably one of my favorite faux desserts to do. So what you're going to need is a sundae cup. A spoon is optional. I got these from the Target dollar spot. Lightweight spackle, a scoop, and I use, for this, okay, I use the regular where you have to do this. This is the most realistic. If you use the other scoops, if you use a scoop like this, it doesn't look nearly as authentic as one of these where you actually scoop it out. Then for the chocolate sauce, I put a little bit of white caulking and dark brown paint, burnt umber. You'll need your whipped cream, spackle with white acrylic paint for the top. And then your choice if you want a cherry, and these are from Hobby Lobby, and I'll cut one off, or a strawberry, whichever. And some people will put a straw. I'm going to use the little spoon since I have it, but if I didn't have it, I would definitely go ahead and use a straw. Again, this is another very fast. Once you have all of your ingredients in front of you, it's very fast. So let's get started. I'm going to put lightweight spackle into this container that I've used before. And we did that for our milkshakes. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow for the ice cream because vanilla ice cream sometimes has a little hint of yellow in it. Okay? So the chocolate sauce is ready. Getting the ice cream ready. And if the ice cream is too soft, you can add a little flour to it. Okay? But I'm going to see first. And I'll try a scoop and see how it looks and see if it holds. I'm almost out of my spackle, but I stopped at the hardware store and got another one knowing I was going to be doing this series. And I have stuff for Halloween, Christmas. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm going to make my vanilla ice cream by putting in some of the yellow. And it's a very pale yellow, because you know what I mean. I don't want a real, like I did for my lemon cakes. I don't want that kind of yellow. And I might even add a little white to this. I don't know yet, we'll see. So once I'm done mixing this, I think I might have to put a little bit of flour. I think it'll be too soft. I'm going to add a little bit of white and I'll be back. Okay, I added the flour and I did it because I didn't want the scoops to be too soft because they wouldn't hold their shape and it would eventually kind of fall and just not look as realistic. So I only added probably about a tablespoon. Maybe not even quite. Again, I am going to try this out before I put it into the actual sundae cup because it would be easier to scrape out of something more shallow. I'm going to just scoop this onto a regular plate. And the only reason I'm doing this, I just want to make sure that the shape of it is going to hold up. So I'm going to just come in here, okay, just like you would ice cream. Okay, it holds up, but it's still soft. So I'm going to put a little bit more flour. Because if I plop that into here and I do like 2 or 3 scoops, it's going to flatten down on itself. So I'm going to do this, I'll get the consistency, and before I scoop it into the glasses, I'll bring you back. Okay, so I mixed more in, and let's see how this holds up. Let's see if it holds up any better than it did the first time. And this is what you have to do sometimes, is just, you know, to keep on putting a little bit more and a little bit more. Better to put a little bit more than too much. Then you've got to put more of the paint, and you don't want to do that. It's a little better, but I still think it would, the first one would be fine if you were going to leave this one, but I'm going to put more scoops than that, and I want the scoops to look like scoops, not just a blob that's starting to fall over on itself. Okay? So when I get the right consistency, I'll bring you back. Okay, I think I have the consistency. Can you tell the difference just by looking at it? Do you see now? It's not as, I hope you can see that, but I can tell just by putting my spoon into it. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to cover this up, wash my scoop, and I'm going to put the chocolate sauce inside a little bit of these glasses, okay? And once I put that in there, then I will let that dry for a couple minutes. I'll put the lid back on this so it doesn't dry out. And then we'll scoop it together. Okay, what I did is I just put a little bit of that paint and the caulking, and then I just took it and just dripped it. Okay, and then I'm just going to let it drip down into the glass. Okay, so I'm just going to let that drip down, and it's got to dry, because if I put that spackle in there now, it's just going to smush all the way, and then it's not going to look good. On the next one, I'm not going to put it down in here. I'm just going to put a little bit right there. And then I'm going to put the rest of it on the actual whipped cream. And what you could do as well, if you didn't want to go to this trouble, you could just take your paint with your skewer, and you see how it's just drizzle it, and that's what I'll do with this. I won't put any more in this because too much went into the plastic part. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll put our sundaes together. Okay, I think this is pretty well dried. Okay, not so much on that one. I want them to be a little bit different. All right, so let's get the spackle with the little bit of flour in it, and let's scoop. Okay, perfect, perfect. Now I want that to go down there a little bit, so I'm helping it down just by shaking it, because I don't want to squish it. You know what I mean? Okay, and then that went down just so, do you see what I mean? Had I not dried that a little bit, do you see how it's kind of smushing into the chocolate? But that part's okay, because that's realistic looking. Okay, let's don't think I'm going to be able to get that down by itself. Okay, I took it down just a little bit so I could put another scoop on. The chocolate wasn't as dry as I thought, but I don't mind this because that does look like what the chocolate looks like in a sundae. Okay, So let's do, I'm pleased with it. So let's do another scoop of ice cream. Okay. I think I want just a little bit more too. Well, no, I'm going to put the ice cream in this so I make sure I have enough. I think what I'm going to do with this one, knife, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the ice cream and I'm going to set it down at the bottom. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I don't mind that. Cool. All right. And now I'll put another scoop. I scoop it, I like to flatten it out like this. Okay. Man, I wish those were real right now. Jeez. All right, so there it is. I am very pleased with the way that turned out. Now I'm going to put a little bit more in this one, and then we're going to top it with the whipped cream. And I'll wash my scoop, and I'll put the lid back on this because I still have some in it. And we'll be back to put the whipped cream. Okay, so I have my spoons ready, okay? I have the 2 cherries that are going to go on top. We have our whipped cream, and I have my chocolate sauce, okay? So let's get started. Want to be able to and there's one. And I think this one, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to go ahead, take this ice cream scoop off, because I'm going to use it for something else. Okay. Because if you're putting that whipped cream all the way through it, you know, on top, you really didn't need it. Actually, all you would have had to have done is put your ice cream right there if you wanted to. And before I finish this one, let's go ahead and put the spoon in. Let's see which side do I think looks the best. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the spoon down in. Okay, that's cute. And then the cherry on top. And there you go. Okay, one. And like I said, if you don't, now, the reason I wouldn't just paint this, although you could, if you don't have the spackle and you really want to make this, you could go ahead with your acrylic paint and you could paint your whole glass like I did for the milkshakes, if you remember, and then just top it with your whipped cream. But I want the look of ice cream sitting in this, so that's why I did it. But again, it's your call. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is do the next one. Okay. And I wonder, I think I might put that one right there. Before I put this on, I'm going to put some chocolate just on the very top and drizzle it on the whipped cream. Then we'll put the strawberry on that. And there are yours. This was so much fun. I love sharing these with you. Let me show you one more time. And like I said, if you don't have the spoons, you can put a straw into these if you want one, or you don't have to put anything. Here's the other one. Okay guys, I just wanted to get down here and show you how cute is this sign. That is from Google, and I just printed it out. And then from Bath and Body, I got this hot fudge sundae candle. I got that last year actually, but look at how cute these turned out. How adorable. What a cute little vignette. I love it. I think these turned out absolutely adorable. Guys, until we get together again, remember the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.